today all the musicians are contract by big music companies, and because they have the money, they have the everything they need to position the band. And the future what we see is crowdfunding with Bitcoin. So the band is gonna upload his music and gonna say, this is my music, this is what I wanna do with the money, this is what you get in change for giving your support. And will the people have the power to decide who are the bands, who are the right people who's gonna rise up, and not the big companies, not the TV stations.
So here we are on the streets of Mexico City with our casual interview with a colleague of ours, Rodolfo. So how are you enjoying the event so far?
So far, the best part of the interview was Andrea Antonopoulos.
Oh yeah.
Because he's always like the big man on the conference, and not just because Bitcoin, from my point of view, but for all the environment. When he talks about the possibilities of the society to free himself from all these Ponzi schemes we are living on, as humanity, because it's and every government how they lock the people in every sense, economically, physically, and Bitcoin is
Sorry, what did you say the government do?
Locked up the people,
Oh, they locked them up.
Yeah, but like the passport is that, it's like a jail. You need the permission to get out, and if they don't want or if they don't like, and that's what Bitcoin is about. Get about outside the borders, outside permissions, outside government regulations.
Yeah, I really like the way he was able to present this huge web of lies that we live in, these perceptions that are being developed and pushed by mass media, is the cage that we are. It's like a container that we all need to operate in, that we're all partaking in. And I like to say that we are changing the world. Like Bitcoin is a world changing. They just finished up saying it's the number one disruptive technology, and it's not about like this activism of a new world. It's about bringing forward a technological change that essentially has all levels of liberty and freedom that are contained inside this change, this new world.
Yeah, so we were just listening to one of the speakers, Pamela. I forget her last name, but she was just saying how. Sorry. Pamela Morgan, and she was just saying how she went to an event where they were talking about disruption, and one of the speakers got up and talked about Hillary 2016 and said how disruptive that would be, and she was said without a hint of irony, and she obviously got turned off by that. But of course the most interesting speaker at that event was Andreas Antonopoulos, and that's why she got into Bitcoin. But with you, Rodolfo, can you tell me about the moment when you first started to realize that Bitcoin could have the potential to change the world?
2013. The first time I met Bitcoin was for the first conference who was here in Mexico in that year. And when they start talking about Bitcoin, like people like Jeff Berwick and the others, and how this technology is not just a money application, how can we use it to change all the services, all the companies as we know it, and people don't see, when you talk about Bitcoin with the people, they just think about money. That's what I'm saying, and it's not just money. The money is still like top application, and what you can build around that, as you can do for automatic transaction, programmable money, and smart contracts. That's something that will change forever the way we relation with others. Without a third party, it's gonna be, you don't have to trust someone else, because you only have to trust in the protocol that's gonna do the things right.
it's a completely new layer of internet. Yeah. Are you looking forward to hearing more about regulation? The interaction between regulation and the...
One of the main topics I come here is from the regulation topic, you know, how the governments are going to react, if they're going to adapt the blockchain to their needs, you know, their proposals, or they're going to leave Bitcoin grow. You know, all that kind of stuff is I think is the main topic what people are focus on.
So Rodolfo, you're a musician. You have this band Black Overdose, yeah? That's the name. Yeah. So you play like heavy metal, like some Sabbath kind of stuff. Yeah, it's great. So do you have any ideas about how Bitcoin might help you as a musician?
Well, and I talk in Acapulco talk about that a lot of this topic. You know, how in the future, today all the musicians are contract by big music companies, you know, and because they have the money, they have the everything they need to position the band. And the future what we see is crowdfunding with Bitcoin. So the band is gonna upload his music and gonna say, this is my music, this is what I wanna do with the money. This is what you would in change for giving your support. And will the people have the power to decide who are the bands, who are the right people who's gonna, you know, rise up, and not the big companies, not the TV stations, nothing else, but the people will have the power to choose, and the same time people will learn to invest, because music is universal, you know, everyone's like music. And if you can invest in your favorite band, buying his cryptocurrency or whatever, it will get you into investments, you know, something that people, for example, like in Latin America, doesn't have nothing else, no idea about this topics about financial.
So you think that so in Latin America, people are going to get more switched on using music as a medium to get them interested about investment, and
through cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, cryptocurrencies in general. Yep. And so, what kind of transformation? Obviously, you've lived in Mexico your entire life, yeah. So, what kind of transformation would you expect, say, in 10 years' time? Could you imagine how Guadalajara or Mexico City might look in 10 years?
10 years is a long bet, a long time. Anything could happen, but you know, a few years it was unthinkable that banks will invest in Bitcoin or will even talk about it. That's what we're looking right now, you know, and I think that, for example, we're talking about music. Music is gonna be like the main topic, who's gonna bring the cryptocurrencies to the people, and I really like that way. I don't know if Tatiana Moroz is gonna talk about that topic, you know, but it's really interesting. And obviously the payment processors in Mexico, there are like 4 exchanges, 3 exchanges here in Mexico, so there's a lot of possibilities for Bitcoin, you know. Actually, we're working on a POS system where you will have Bitcoin automatically integrated without you even know it. So someone who haven't heard about Bitcoin in his life will be able to accept it, and they will see the icon to accept in his program. So this kind of things is gonna start to push people, Bitcoin into people, you know. And in 10 years, I really can't tell you what will be, but surely will be totally changed by Bitcoin. How we financially relationship with others.
Yeah, so I think like you're saying with you were saying before how it would come up maybe on a website, you're buying a CD or whatever, or you know, downloadable music.
For example,
yep.
For example, and what we will see is bands creating his own cryptocurrencies, and they will sell his products by the cryptocurrencies, and even the cryptocurrency can be like the asset or represent an asset of the band, so you own a part of the band, like investments, you know. So that's what I think it will get people into.
So what I gather here is the first step is giving the power and the freedom back to the people, so they can make their own choices and be empowered themselves. But how do you see that happening? Because you mentioned earlier that, you know, we're now building systems where people won't even need to worry about, you know, what cryptocurrency am I using or how does it work? Bitcoin, I don't really understand it. They'll be able to use it through applications without directly having to know they're using it. Is that correct?
Well, when you're talking about many other cryptocurrencies, it's like the email, you know? People use email, but they don't know how it works. They don't know how the protocol works. And it will be the same with Bitcoin. People will use Bitcoin, but will don't know anything about the protocol, or maybe not. But they won't care, because they know they can get products, they can buy something, and that's all they will care. So, whatever still development of cryptocurrencies, I'm not really care about the people be picking on the technology, but they will use it because other people use it, like everything.
That's how it works. Yeah. So I think, like what you were saying, when in the future with your payment processing company, or with BitPay or some other company, how it can come up just on the, say, when you're buying something, it's just going to come up and say, would you like to pay with PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, or Bitcoin? And it's going to work its way into people's consciousness until they start to accept it.
It's going to show another option, so people's going to start, I can pay in Bitcoin, I can pay with credit card, I can pay with cash. And they're going to start to get... What we see is that merchants are going to give special discounts for Get Bitcoin for the inflation, because they want to keep the value. They will see that value of the Bitcoin will start to rise up, so they will try to keep the Bitcoins. So in order to get the Bitcoins, they will offer discounts. So people will start use Bitcoin because they pay less with Bitcoin, and that's what we will see in the future. I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay, future looks bright for Latin America. Thanks, Rodolfo. Thanks for listening, guys, to another episode of The Paradise Paradox. Head on over to our website, theparadiseparadox.com. And remember, you just have a couple of days left to get a discount off your Anacapulco ticket. So Anacapulco is a great event, liberty-focused event for peaceful anarchists in Acapulco, Mexico, full of interesting people, lots of great speakers. Jeffrey Tucker, Larkin Rose, Adam Kokesh, lots of interesting people. I had a great time last year. It was really exciting to get a sense of the community that's there among these people who have decided that they're going to commit their lives to peace and voluntarism and making the world a better place. So it's a great event. I highly recommend it. Head on over to www.anacapulco.com, ANACHAPULCO.com, and use the promotional code PARADISE. You get a 10% discount. And come on down, see us there, say hi, shake our hand, have a beer with us. So hope to see you there. See you next time.